The world knows Capability Brown as one of the great landscape architects. And his landscapes can often best be understood as waterscapes. Now, the topography here at Wotton is highly unpromising. It's flat, has few natural features, but it is incredible how Brown conjures out of this raw material a series of water features, lakes, rivers, bridges, a variety of man-made features which look natural. One has to bear in mind, when we're looking at this landscape today, through the windows of the house, that when we started off, back in the 80s and even in the 90s, you couldn't actually see the lake. It was so overgrown, it was hard to see where to begin. After we came to live at Wotton, we turned our attention to the landscape garden, which we proceeded to restore with the help of our estate manager, Michael Harrison.
Came to Wotton completely by chance for, well, a job I thought would take a fortnight. I've sort of been here ever since, really. The house was in quite good order, but the landscape hadn't been touched for 40 years and was completely overgrown. This is an example of what all of the landscape looked like before we started, with trees in the lake and the shrubberies overgrown. Well, it felt very neglected, damp and dark and lost in some ways. But if you clear all that scrub away, you are left with how we think Wotton would have looked soon after Brown left in the 1790s. Only the last 2 or 3 years you could really say it started to look like a landscape garden. It feels calm and right. It just feels at peace with itself. I remember one crucial bit of clearing sort of 1960s fencing out of the way and suddenly realising what Brown wanted was to see no boundaries. One bit of grass should flow into water and out the other side. You don't see boundaries in nature. I think they are works of art. They are composed. It's meant to give you pleasure looking at it. It's an artist's idea of what perfect landscape should look like. Oh, you never finish a garden. And you can put as much labour or as little labour into a garden as you like in some ways. Of course, if you do nothing, it will return to the state we found it after 40 years of people doing nothing. Of course, the dereliction is what has saved Wotton over years, because it hasn't been altered. So this sleeping beauty was there for us to uncover again.
Do you remember the first time we sat here?
What, after we restored it?
Well, I think it has to be then, because we didn't really come here before that.
What I'm amazed about Brown is he puts a river here, but it's not narrow. The amount of work to create this vast amount of water, just a glimpse from the house.
But I love the way, too, that it meanders. It doesn't go straight. It doesn't go in a simple curve. It's a series of very delicate curves, just like a broad river. It's an extraordinary collection of water features, and it's all the work of one Capability Brown. And it's been a wonderful journey, this. But now we can once again appreciate the mastery of its design.